See, if we were a well-organised podcast, I'd have pulled all this up beforehand, but I
Yeah,
completely
but
forgot about it.
don't worry, we have the magic of editing.
Yeah.
We can make it seem like we are a well-organised podcast.
Oh, brilliant.
Hello, welcome to Podemup episode 43, in which we're discussing recent Nintendo Switch big hitter Kirby and the Forgotten Land. If you're more into the other consoles though, we're also discussing PlayStation Plus versus Xbox Game Pass, and a classic Podemup feature makes its return. Keep it here on Podemup. Hello, welcome back to Podemup. This is episode 43, I believe, if memory serves correctly. My name is Ollie. I'm joined by Tibbs.
Hello.
And this is Podemup. Today we're talking about the old Curbster, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, aren't we?
Yeah. Kirby McCurbison.
Yeah, been enjoying it?
It's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, it's crap in it, yeah.
Crap. So it's my pick for the next show. Yeah, it's great. I don't want to, spoil the. I don't want to.
I don't think that's much of a spoiler. I think it's generally considered to be a pretty good game, but we're going to get to it in due course.
In due course, yeah.
I guess I'll start what we've been playing this month because haven't been playing a whole lot. Unfortunately, I've let the side down again. Well, my eyes have let me down again this month, unfortunately. The only thing, obviously, I got that you saw on Twitter. I got that little stack of Wii games from the old sex shop.
From the old
CS
yes.
shop.
Yes, I got what you meant. Sorry, what? That's good.
I've played a couple of those last night. A few of them, but probably had most fun with a game called Ghost Squad.
Good. That's a light gun thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a light gun. It's a standard sort of light gun on rails kind of shooter. I think it's by Sega.
I was going to say Sega, yeah.
Yeah, it's just good fun. It's like being in an arcade, shooting away. It's just, it's great fun. Yeah, really good. Yeah, Link's Crossroad Training. I quite enjoyed that as well. I actually already had that, but I think the disc was a bit messed up and never really worked properly, so I just got another one. It's like £1.50. It's probably like the cheapest Zelda game ever, I think.
Yeah.
That seems to stay permanently low for some reason, but that's good fun as well.
It's less a game and more just a tech demo for the Wii Zapper, wasn't it? Really?
I think so, yeah. It's a fairly early one, I think, but it's one of those. It's a shovelware as Link and Zelda can get, I think, but it's good. It's good fun, yeah. So that's all I've been doing, really, other than Kirby. How about you?
I finished off. I was talking about Subnautica last time. I finished that. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I started the sequel, Subnautica Below Zero, and I've shelved that for now. I don't know whether it's because I'd spent so long playing the first one. Maybe I just had my fill of that kind of game.
Sometimes you just need a break before you play a sequel.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of thing.
It just wasn't gelling with me at all. It's essentially the same sort of thing, and there are lots of improvements, little quality of life improvements from the first one, but it just wasn't clicking with me in the same way. So I've shelved that for now and come back to that a bit later, I think. Um, what else have I been playing? Oh, Kirby's taken up a lot of the time because I was going for a full completionist run.
Oh, really?
Really.
Oh, right.
Which I didn't. I gave up on it in the end, but I got pretty close.
Oh, cool.
Close. What else have I been playing? Not much, in fact. It's mostly been Subnautica.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Never mind. Is there any news you wanted to talk about? Because news.
I mean, there's the whole Xbox outage.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. So this was Xbox Live going down, which for some ridiculous reason means you cannot play any games, including single-player games. Is that right?
That's about the long and short of it. Well, some games I think did work, but a lot of them didn't. And it was like, I think it was affected some disc games as well for some reason.
Yeah.
And like games that you'd bought and downloaded and activated still wouldn't work for some reason. So
Crazy.
it's just crazy. I mean,
there's no reason for that, is there? Surely.
None at all.
Ludicrous.
None at all. It's just.
Yeah. It just goes to show, because you see all the sort of arguments again, because we follow that. I forgot what it's called now. Does It Play?
Does It Play?
Yeah, they always sort of retweet people who argue against them, saying, "Oh, this sort of future where there'll be no internet don't happen." I mean, who doesn't have the internet? But it's not something that is always going to be there 100%. You're going to have outages. You're going to have problems. There's so many things along the way, like servers and things, to go down. And when it happens, you're stuck with that. How long was the outage for?
I think it was for a good few days.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine you get a brand new game, you want to set it up, and I can't play it because the Xbox can't communicate with the server.
Yeah.
It's just insane. There's nothing wrong with your hardware, nothing wrong with the game. It's just that for some reason it needs the internet.
It just reminds me. I think I mentioned it on the show a couple of months ago, on the last show, maybe the one before. I just wanted to play Viva Pinata. And the amount of hoops I had to jump through, and honestly, I gave up on it in the end. I couldn't. I formatted the X because I wanted it. I thought, on the Xbox One, because it's one of the ones that have been patched to have better frame rate. Because the original, the frame rate tanked a bit on the original Viva Pinata on the 360. So I thought, I'll just pop it in. But all the song and dance they make about their backwards compatibility. Honestly, it just wouldn't work. It kept crashing back to the desktop.
Not
the desktop, the home screen.
Yeah.
No error message. Nothing like, something's gone wrong. Do you want to report this? Just nothing. It would just open, show the splash screen of Viva Pinata, straight back to the home screen. I formatted the Xbox. I downloaded it again from Xbox Live Arcade because I had it digitally there. So I tried installing it from disk. Tried doing it from the original Xbox Live Arcade release. I tried installing the Rare Replay disc with it on Rare Replay.
Jesus.
There's like a way you can clear the temporary cache on the hard drive by pulling the power out while the console's on and then holding the power button down. All these crazy things. I did that. Then there was another suggestion. There's an option buried away in the settings to clear Xbox 360 storage. I did that. I went over and over and over. And in the end, I even downloaded the latest firmware, put the console into safe mode, and then reinstalled the whole operating system from scratch from the USB. Still wouldn't work. And in the end, because I went through pages and pages of like the Microsoft knowledge base and posted on forums and all sorts. What it was is, even though I only own one Xbox and I've only ever owned one Xbox One, it wasn't set to be my home console.
So you have to go somewhere and manually set it to be your home console. Xbox is my home console.
Even though I've only got one console,
yeah,
Xbox One, it didn't assume, by default, I better set this as the home one. It had to be done manually. And the minute I did that, it worked. But by that time, I'd given up. I didn't want to play it anymore. It's just crap. It's so bad.
And that's why you haven't played anything else this month, because you've just been trying to do that by the sounds of it.
Yeah, honestly, it did my head in. Why can't you just put... I mean, I fear of sounding old-fashioned. Can't you just put in a disc in and have it play the disc.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that anymore, does it?
No.
It's the old days.
So yeah, I mean, and that was that. All this was before all the recent outage kicked off.
Yeah.
You know, that's when things were working. Hate it.
The other thing this week, and I didn't see much of it, but I think I saw you tweeting about it, was this PlayStation thing that's been announced this week.
Yeah.
Was it this?
Yeah, the new PlayStation Plus tiers.
So this is kind of a rival to Xbox, whatever it's called.
Xbox Live, yeah,
Xbox,
Game Pass.
Game Pass, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So what's it all about then?
So basically, if you want to play online, and there's other things as well, but if you want to play online, you need a PlayStation Plus subscription to use a PS4, PS5 online.
Yeah.
At the moment, it costs it's either £40 or £50 a year.
Right. Yeah.
And that will get you your online play, and it will also give you, I think it's 2 quote-unquote free games to download each month.
Yeah.
Slightly less of an attractive offering than Xbox, because with the Xbox games, you get to keep them even after, if you choose not to carry on with your subscription, the free games they give you, you can still play even once your subscription lapses.
Yes, that's always been
they're
good,
actually yours. Yeah. With the PlayStation 1, if you stop your subscription, you lose access to all the games that you've downloaded from the Plus service.
Yeah.
So they're scrapping that now, and they're bringing in 3 tiers of service. So you'll have the basic one, which will just give you online play and the games. Then there's going to be a deluxe one, or like a middle-sized one, which will give you online play and I don't know. Hang on, let me look it up.
Yeah.
It's
let's do our research. Yeah.
PlayStation Plus tiers. All tiers explained. Right, here we go. So you've got PlayStation Plus Essential, which is the basic one. You get your online games, you get your downloadable ones. Then, if you want to pay a little bit extra, so the basic one is going to be £50 a year. The middle-sized one is PS Plus Extra, and you get your downloadable games, your online play, and a downloadable catalogue of nearly 400 PS5 and PS4 games.
Right.
So I don't think they're all there at once. I think there's only like 20 to begin with.
Okay, so they're bringing them in gradually.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's going to be £60 a year, I think.
Is it a spreadsheet? Is it a spreadsheet situation?
Yeah, it's a spreadsheet situation. Oh no! That's going to be £83.99 a year.
Okay, that's quite a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
And then they've got PS Plus Premium, which is the
primo, the top dollar.
Top dollar.
Yeah.
And with that, you get PlayStation 3 games, streaming only. You can't download them.
Yeah.
PS1, PS2, and PSP game catalogue for streaming and download.
Alright.
And time-limited game trials, so demos.
Demos, yeah.
And that will cost you 100 of your Great British quids a year. Now, they released a list of what games were going to be included, because a lot of people are interested in the classic PS1 and PS2 games, because I thought,
sure.
that's going to be worth looking into. Let me just pull up the list here, because I thought it was a bit weak, to be honest. Here we go. So, see, if we were a well-organised podcast, I'd have pulled all this up beforehand, but I completely forgot about it.
Don't worry, we have the magic of editing.
Yeah.
It can make it seem like we are a well-organised podcast.
Oh, brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Right, so this is Classic Games Catalogue, Original PlayStation and PSP.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ape Escape from PS1. That's going to be that's a good one.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Hot Shots Golf, or Everybody's Golf, I think it was called over here. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligent Cube, or Karushi, it was called over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite a good one. This is just a neat little puzzle game. Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, Super Stardust Portable. That's all the official Sony ones. And from third-party developers, all we've got is Mr. Driller, which, again, it's not
Yeah.
bad, but, I mean, you don't need to pay £100 a year if you want to pay Mr.
No,
Driller.
no, certainly not.
Tekken 2.
Yep.
I'd have probably gone for Tekken 3, but
Okay.
there you go. And this is the one that got me. Worms World Party
Mm-hmm.
and Worms Armageddon. They're the same game. They're the same game. The only difference is it's got a different title screen with a different music,
Yeah.
and Worms World Party has like a randomizer in it.
Okay.
Other than that,
So it's a bit like coming out with a list of Mega Drive games, having like 10 of them, and you put Micro Machines 2 and Micro Machines 96 on.
that is exactly
Right,
exactly
okay.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I
the
see,
same
I get
game. There's no extra weapons, backgrounds, no gameplay tweaks or changes. It's the same game.
Mm.
Just crazy.
So they've got hardly anything, basically.
They got hardly anything. It's
Initially.
peanuts.
Yeah, I assume they're going to add more, but, it's
Well,
not.
I know, but I mean, if coming out the gate asking for £100 a year, you'd think you'd
Yeah.
have some heavy hitters there ready to go, wouldn't you?
You would think so, yeah.
I'm looking at the PS2 lot. It's a little bit better, but again, it's. I don't think it's going to be anything that is going to make someone put their hand in their pocket. Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack X Combat Racing, Jack and Daxter. I mean, anyone interested in those has probably played them at this point and has got better ways of playing them than streaming them for £100 a year.
Yes. I mean, they're all on. A lot of those are on PS4 anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Then there's like there's a selection of PS2 games on PS4, isn't there? And you can get, I think, all or most of those on that.
All of them, I think, yeah, and I think they all got physical releases through limited brand games as well. If you wanted to, if you really wanted them.
Mm.
So I'm a bit underwhelmed by it, to be honest.
Do we know what the Game Pass equivalent is cost-wise? It's cheaper than that, isn't it?
I think Game Pass the equivalent to that would be the Microsoft Xbox Live Ultimate.
Right.
I think that's £70 a year. I think. Let me have a quick look. It's $10.99 a month. Yeah, $10.99 a month. So that's going to be about 120 a year. But it says $10.99 a month with a little asterisk. So I assume that's if you buy it in a year bundle.
You get a deal, yeah.
And then if you went separately, it'd be like $12 or $14.99 a month. So they're about the same. There's not going to be much in it.
They are popular though, these things these days, aren't they? It is, good or bad, how a lot of people like to enjoy games now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like this subscription thing where you don't actually own anything, but you can. I think it's got good points and bad points. I mean, I've done the Xbox Game Pass on PC. It's quite good for sort of dipping into a game, trying it out, seeing what it's like. I sort of used it as a kind of replacement for demos, really. So I would try a game out.
Yeah, I think it's great for demos.
Yeah, and then you can, because no one releases hardly any demos anymore. It's really annoying. And PlayStation seem to really resent doing it, like these timed demos and limiting you. Oh, you can only play it twice or something, And it's a load of crap, isn't it? But at least those services offer an alternative to that, where you can, if you like it, then you can go and buy the physical or download it, and it's quite good for that. I think it's fine as long as there's always the download option or the buy physical option where possible.
Yeah,
too.
I hate for it to become the de facto way
norm.
of getting games.
I think that would be awful because it's really difficult preservation-wise, then, isn't it? Because,
it's impossible. Isn't it?
I know, although they are downloaded onto your thing, it's not stream. It's not quite as bad as Google Stadia and streaming, but you can't get at them really. Even on PC, when you downloaded one of those games, it was in a completely sealed-off part. You couldn't even get to it on your computer. It's your own computer, but there's files that you can't actually access and get to.
Yeah,
which is crazy. So if all games become like that, then it's a very, very bad thing. So
I think we're a way off that, hopefully.
Yes, I would hope so. Yes, I would hope so. But the more things go like that, the more you worry, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at just current next-gen console sales, if you if you've been lucky enough to get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, the PS5 digital seems to be the one no one wants. The disc edition is the one that sells out the quickest.
That's a good sign, isn't it? Yeah.
And if you wanted an Xbox Series S, I've never seen the Series S sold out anywhere. The one without the disc drive, the digital only one. You can pick one. I would have no trouble picking one up tomorrow if I wanted one and I could afford one, which I can't, but that's a separate thing. The Xbox Series X with the disc drive and everything, that's the one that's selling out. So I think there's still a huge demand for, actually having physical discs.
Yeah, that's good.
So long may that remain.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Because I knew I wasn't coming in with many games to talk about, I've come armed with a couple of Incoming indies to talk about. So,
a classic return.
The classic podemup feature returns. So, I've got a couple of them. First one is a game called Cloud Jumper. If you Google it, put Cloud Jumper game, otherwise you will get results for jumpers with clouds on them. Which is unfortunate. Cloud Jumper game. It's really nice. It's Steam PC release at the moment, unknown release date, but it's really nice, very colourful, very relaxing. You sort of have a little poodly kind of steam ship, reminds me of the Odyssey from Super Mario Odyssey. You're sort of exploring these little floating islands, doing things to upgrade your ship, talk to people, complete side quests, that sort of thing. I don't think there's any combat in it. I think it's just a very sort of laid back, relaxing kind of game. It's nice. The camera is always sort of third person, so rather than most flying games have it always positioned behind the ship, it's almost like the same camera as Kirby, really. Only you're flying, so you can kind of move back towards the camera, and that was quite technically that seemed quite an interesting decision. It looks quite nice. So yeah, it's a nice little
it looks really nice. All sort of pastel colours.
Yeah, very sort of stylized and yeah, looks good. Yeah, have a look. The other one is a game called Time on Frog Island.
Oh, I think I prefer that one already. Time on
Frog Island.
Frog Island.
Yeah, so this is coming to all current platforms. I think it's coming out in July on the Switch at least, and there will be a physical release. So ticks all of your boxes already. So it's another sort of exploration game. You're a character who's been shipwrecked on an island, and you kind of need to explore it. You need to trade your way to repairing your boat. So you find other characters, and they offer sort of certain parts for your ship and things that you need, but in return you have to go and find an item or sort of go through a sequence of trades with other characters to kind of get the things you want. And it's just loads of trading, basically, loads of exploring and finding stuff, giving it to someone, getting something in return, then giving that to someone else, that kind of thing. So it looks really, really fun, really little kind of nice. Again, quite a relaxing, simple little game. Very charming. I love the way the character runs, things like that. It looks really sort of polished and really nice.
That frog looks so miserable. I love
it. There is a little mini prologue you can get on Steam now.
That's the one I'm looking at, I think.
There's a free thing. I did play that a little while ago. It is nice, but I did struggle a little bit trying to figure out what the characters wanted, because they don't actually speak to you. They communicate in icons, and there was one point where I just had no idea what he was talking about. I couldn't figure out what to do, and then I had to stop. And then I don't think it actually saves. It's so short, it doesn't have like a save thing, so I had to start again. But anyway, I might come back to it. But despite that, it does look really, really nice.
I shall add it to my wish list.
Oh, do, yes.
There we go.
So that's coming out fairly soon, 15th of July I've got written down here. So that's, a month and a half?
Yeah.
No, nearly 2 months. Yeah, cool, check it out.
Speaking of wish list, right?
Okay.
I tweeted about this as well, but it's doing my head in. Hopefully anyone listening to this, it might ring a bell and someone might be able to help. I saw a game on YouTube. I can't remember what channel it was. I can't remember what the game was called. It's an indie game, and it's a platformer. It's third person, so you can see your character going about. It's like a mix of 3D and 2D, so it's like a normal 3D platformer, but you can press a button and it kind of flattens the image into a 2D plane.
Oh.
So, say there's it's really hard to describe, but let's say your character's on one platform, he's got to get to another platform, and there's a big chasm in the middle. It's too high for you to jump it. But if you pan the camera around, in the distance, there's like a block or something. You could maneuver the camera around so the block in the distance is placed between your character and where he needs to go, and you can press a button and it will flatten it down so that now it now becomes a platform you can jump on, and then you press another button and it goes back to how it was before. So it's all about playing with the perspective of the environment.
That sounds so familiar.
I really want to play it, and it looked, because I remember I was doing something else and it was just on in the background, and I remember thinking that sounds like a really good game to cover on the show.
Yeah.
And I can't remember it, and I've been through my history on YouTube and I can't find what video it was, and it's driving me mad. I can't. I've had a few people tweet me with suggestions of what they think it might be. Someone suggested Superliminal, but it's not that, because that's a first-person one, completely different style.
What is the artistic style? Is it kind of cel-shaded? Is it kind of drawn, or?
It's not drawn. I would say it's too fuzzy in my head to really say.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. The closest thing I can liken it to in terms of the gameplay was, did you ever play Fez?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's got that kind of how it just sort of plays with perspective.
Yeah.
And it's like that, but it's not that. It's if anyone
weird.
can think of it, please let me know.
It sounds so familiar, but I think I'm thinking of a part of another game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not this, but did you ever play... What's it called? Paper Mario. Paper Mario, the Wii one.
Yes.
At least. That's the only one I've played a little bit. And that had... I'm sure, I can't remember, it's a long time ago, but that had something quite similar, I think.
Quite similar,
That had a 2D plane, and then suddenly it became 3D.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not that, because you'd know it was Mario, I guess.
I know it was Mario, yeah.
But I think that's what I'm thinking of. But I don't know. It does sound really familiar. I've probably seen it somewhere. I'm sure.
Yeah, it looked like a really polished game. It looked like if it's not out already, it looks like it's about to come out. It looks really.
Yeah.
I hope it rings a bell with someone anyway. If you've got any idea what I'm talking about, drop us a line and let us know.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, there's someone like shouting at their podcast player right now, and email us podemup@gmail.com or tweet us at podemup if you know the answer of this month's competition. Yeah. Which you don't win anything, but you will definitely get a mention on the next episode, I reckon, if you do. If you know what Tibbs is talking about, let us know. Right then, should we move to Kirby?
Yeah,
is it Kirby time.
Let's do it.
You couldn't think of any other way to go.
No, I couldn't think. I was going to say let's inhale the next part of the show or something like that. And I was just thinking, sounds crap. Let's just
screw it. Let's just do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Stick to the classics.
Yeah, go on.
Right, off we go then.
Video Game Book Club.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land is our game this month. It was my pick last month, but only because I knew we were both going to play it, and we were going to do a Kirby game this year, and this one turned up, so it makes sense to do it. I've never played a Kirby game before until now, other than like, the odd dabbling. So this was an interesting one, yeah, really good. So it was released this year, March 2022, exclusively for the Nintendo Switch, developed by HAL Laboratory, published by Nintendo. It's done really very well, apparently, selling 2.1 million units in its first 2 weeks.
That's a lot of Kirbs.
So they say that's a lot of Kirbs, yeah. I didn't realise this. This is the first fully 3D game in the series. Being a series noob, I would have assumed that at some point in the last 20, 25 years there would have been a 3D Kirby game, a fully 3D one, as in
I was going to say
mechanically.
there's 3D sort of 2.5D.
Yeah.
Ones, but in terms of sort of full free roaming 3D, then this is the first one.
Yeah, so they had to sort of invent rules for how Kirby works in 3D, I suppose.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean, it borrows heavily, we'll get into it, but it borrows, I would say, quite heavily from Mario 3D World, I would say, a lot.
Yeah.
And if you imagine that kind of sort of slightly zoomed out view, that most of the time that's what you get, really. Produced as part of Kirby's 30th anniversary. Happy birthday, Kirby. So, the story-wise, Kirby and the Waddle Dees get sucked into a place called the New World, an Earth-like planet left behind long ago by its original inhabitants and now populated by a group of bad guys called the Beast Pack, who are kidnapping Waddle Dees. Kirby, joined by new friend Elfalin, must explore the New World, rescue the Waddle Dees, and restore their little town. I loved it.
Yeah,
really
I
good.
loved it.
Yeah, it's what the Switch has been crying out for, I think. In as much as a really fun, family-friendly platformer that isn't Mario Odyssey or a Wii U port.
Yeah.
This is what I've bought the Switch for. This kind of thing, and it's great to see it.
And it's a game that just plays to the strengths of the Switch, really. I think.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yeah. Should we talk about Kirby a bit? Just the general Kirbiness, because although it's a
thing.
It's a well-loved franchise. I mean, I'm a Kirby noob, so conceivably there's someone who hasn't played a Kirby game at all. So, yeah, what's his deal? What's happening with Kirby?
He's just a big pink thing, really.
Yeah, he's not anything. He's just a big pink thing that inhales stuff and floats about.
Yeah, he's just a big pink thing. There isn't really much in terms of Kirby lore to catch up on.
I was going to say, because I was... I'm going to want to jump ahead, but let's get back to that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Kirby, he's just a fun little character. He's a little round blob. He inhales things, and I think he's mainly used as like a template for, or just an experimenting ground for just weird ideas that won't fit into other games.
Yeah, he is sort of, isn't he? Yeah. I suppose.
There's recurring characters and recurring areas that you'll bump into throughout the games, but there's not like there's no common storyline throughout them all. It's just Kirby going on little adventures and doing different things each time. Like the first game, the very first Kirby's Dream Land, he just inhaled things and that was it. He didn't even have the copy ability where he takes on the abilities of the things he inhales. That was something that came later, and it's just been adapted on as the games go. Sometimes he's made a whirl in Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes he's made like plasticine and stuff on the Rainbow Road,
It's the Wii U one, isn't it? Yeah,
Rainbow something
like that,
on the Wii U.
Yeah, I know the one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a character that, if someone gets an interesting idea for a game and they don't know what character to put in there, give Kirby a call. He comes
he's like the sort of odd job man of the Nintendo world, isn't he? Yeah.
Exactly.
The copy ability was quite an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because the enemies that you encounter, very very cute enemies. I must say, this was one of your points before when we were talking about Kirby, but those little fox guys, they're adorable, aren't they? They don't look like. I went up to them and started petting them at first. I thought they were, just lovely wildlife hanging around, but no, they're bad guys. They want to kill you, want to rip your face off. A lot of them have carry ones that carry weapons, like guys that throw bombs and guys that have big cutting things and the drills and the hammers and things like that. If they're holding something, usually you can take it by inhaling that enemy, and then you'll have that weapon. And it's a very forgiving system in a way, because you kind of get the ability. If you get hit by something, sometimes you'll lose it, but it's always kind of there to just pick up again. If you get another one, you can sort of choose which one you want. You have to give up the thing before you get the other one, so it doesn't replace it. And it's kind of like, it's quite forgiving. You can just choose what abilities you want. You can come into any level with any ability. So if there's one you don't naturally get in a level, you can bring one in. You can find different things with the different abilities. And
there's
different areas.
different areas that are only accessible with certain skills.
Yeah, so it's a good system. I mean, the things like sword, the fire thing, the ice bombs, drill. I like the ranger gun. That was quite a cool one.
Yeah,
the old musket. And in this one, I don't know if you can in other ones, but you can upgrade them. Is that a standard thing, or is that
the last proper Kirby game I played was probably... Oh no, I did play Epic Yarn, but it's a while ago. I can't remember that one. With the copy ability worked a bit different in Kirby and the Crystal Shards, which was the N64 one. You didn't upgrade them as such, but you could combine them. So you could, if you inhaled one ability, then inhaled a different one. So I don't know, I'm just making this up. Like you inhaled a hammer ability and the ice ability, you would get icy hammers.
Oh, that's cool.
An electric ability and the spike ability, you'd have electric spikes and things like that. So you could combine them, and similar to how Forgotten World.
This game, Forgotten Land? Yeah, it took me a while to memorise it. It's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Yeah.
Yeah, similar to that, you'd need certain abilities to access certain areas and solve certain puzzles, so that kind of thing. But I think this upgrade system, as far as the ones I've played, I think is new. You don't upgrade them in the same way as you do in this one. I think this is a new addition.
Yes, so you can you find scrolls in the levels, and there's still a lot I haven't found, actually. I need to keep going back and finding them. But you can get scrolls in the levels that are like blueprints for an upgrade. You need to get a certain number of coins, and you need to do these extra little mini levels that give you like a stone. I forgot what they actually call it, but like a little magic stone. You just get certain numbers of them, and then you can upgrade your abilities and make them better, bigger swords, more firepower. Take down bosses easier, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of sort of stuff alongside the main levels there that I really quite enjoyed, because it's not just like doing a sequence of levels. You've got to, I mean, you can do it. You can just go on through, and the game is fairly forgiving. It's not a difficult game. At least the core thing, I wouldn't say.
No, I think the main campaign, if you just blasted through, like you say, it's not very challenging.
No, I don't think
in most places. There's a couple of bits that had me pulling my hair out.
The final boss was quite tricky.
The final boss was tricky, and there was I can't remember the name of the stage, but it's in the lava area where all the there's a bit at the end where you have to get one of the Waddle Dees. There's like rocks, like flaming rocks from a volcano that are crashing down, and they cause the land to fall into the lava.
Yeah.
And you have to, I presume, because I never managed to do it, you have to try and drill across and under a fence to get to the Waddle Dee before the land falls into the lava.
Yeah, I think I remember that one, yeah.
I could not do it. I got so frustrated with it.
Oh, really?
I got so angry.
I can't remember if I've done that or not, but I don't remember spending loads of time trying to get it. Because I was playing at the same time as my wife. She was enjoying it, and little Alice was enjoying it with us as well. She's been all about Kirby this month. It's really, really cute, actually. But my wife is the kind of player who, when the platform game, will try and seek out everything while she's playing it as much as possible. So she'll go and find all the hidden stuff, and there's loads of hidden things to find in these levels.
You've got hidden stuff.
The main sort of currency, quote unquote, is finding the Waddle Dees. They're hidden throughout the level. You can free them by doing certain things. Like today I was playing it, I had to meet 3 seagulls in one of the beach levels. If you find 3 seagulls, then you a release of Waddle Dee, and they're like captured, hidden away. She loves finding out all those things as she's playing it, whereas I will, if I see them, I'll have a little look around. If I see it, I'll go for it. I don't go out of my way to find them necessarily. I tend to just sort of plow on and think, if I want to do some more playing out later, I'll go back and find them. But for my wife, it's brilliant. She loves this sort of thing, so she was just digging them out. And it sounds like you were as well.
Yeah, I really thought, because I started playing it, because usually I'm not a completionist when it comes to games. I don't.
No, me neither. No.
I'll play the game and like basically what you just said. If I come across something, during the course of gameplay, I'll collect it if there's something interesting. But I won't go for 100% completion or getting the platinum trophies and all that kind of stuff. I usually don't bother with that. As long as I enjoy the game and I go through start to finish, that's usually enough for me, and I won't bother.
I find you can get really sick of the game if you make yourself try and get everything in it, and you think it gets to the point where you think, why am I even doing this? This is so hard. And it's just, it kind of can ruin the game, I think.
Some of it as well, they're just a lot of games to do it. Like the one that always springs to mind is Assassin's Creed, the original Assassin's Creed. To 100% complete it, you have to find. I think it's either it must be 100. It wouldn't be 1,000. It's got to be 100 feathers that are hidden across the whole game. And then on the tops of buildings and hidden away somewhere, and you don't get anything for getting them, as far as I can remember, other than the achievement. And it's just it doesn't sound fun at all to do that. It just doesn't have any appeal to me. So usually I just don't bother with it. But with Kirby, when I started playing it, it all seemed, because I think there's 5 objectives for each stage.
Yeah.
And there's some bonus levels around that you can use to get the precious treasures to upgrade your weapons and things.
Yeah.
And it all seemed quite doable. So I thought, there's only five things per stage. Yeah, I'll make an effort and try and do it as much as I can. But yeah, it wore thin. I got to be honest. It did wear thin.
Yeah.
I think what got me, because one of the collectibles in the game is you get little capsule toys.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, the capsules, yeah.
Yeah, and there's 70 to collect. You start off and it says, there's 70 to collect. So I got them all, and it said, now there's Series 2.
Yes. Yes.
So I was like,
it's 100 more or something, isn't it? Yeah.
Fine, there's Series 2. I got all the Series 2. Now there's Series 3. I'm like, okay, that's got to be it. It comes in 3s. I got all of Series 3, and then there was another one. Series 4. I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing it. I can't be bothered.
You either find them in the levels, or when you go into Waddle Dee Town, which we haven't talked about yet, but we will in a minute.
Yeah.
You can get the little capsule. What word am I thinking of? The slot machine thing, the machines that dispense them.
I think
basically.
we would call them gumball machines.
Yeah.
I think that the term is gachapon.
That's right. Japan, the gachapons. So there's a different one for each volume, each series, and the first ones are 5 coins or a coin, or even maybe to a very small number of coins to get them, and you kind of get through them, and oh yes, I got this one. You fill up the library. Then the next one are a little bit more coins, and then 3 and 4, it's something stupid like 50 coins or something, isn't it? It's something ridiculous. And I was saving up coins for on the upgrades, and I let Alice have a little play, and she wanders around Waddle Dee Town. I come back, she spent all my coins on these last these last volumes, and I'm like, that's very kind, sweetheart, but I was saving up for something special.
I love it.
Yeah, the capsule toys, yeah. But I do love the thought that they put into all that, all these extra things, and it really does. Even if you're not the kind of completionist person, it really does make you want to go for it, and you really think, I could do this. I could get into this. Whether you will or not, I don't. Maybe depends what kind of a person you are. Interestingly, I looked up the how long to beat on this game, and I think the core story up to maybe the first credits, the final one. I think there's extra levels afterwards, isn't there? But the first bit, I think, think comes in about 8 hours or so, which is probably roughly what I did.
I was going to say, I think that's about in line with
The
what I
fully
did,
complete one is like 25 hours, which is quite a big jump. And I couldn't quite get my head around why that would be at first, but now having seen all the stuff you can do in it, I can kind of see that how that would work.
Yeah.
There's a lot, but it's good. If you like that sort of thing, it's there. If you don't bother. So that's the way I always look at these things.
Yeah, well, the bonus levels that we mentioned.
Yeah.
So you've got the main stages, and you get like the bonus levels, which you use to get the currency needed to perform the upgrades of your skills and stuff. And usually it's just like a little challenge stage. So, say you've got the drill ability, lets you dig under the ground and go under fences and things. So one of the stages is a series of fences all about, and you've got a time limit. You've got to activate all the switches and drill under the fences and stuff and work your way around in order to complete the stage in a given time limit.
Yeah.
If you complete the stage within the time limit, then you get the little star crystal, and that's it, job done. But you also can do it within a certain time limit. There's like a target time.
Yes.
Those target times are ridiculous.
They are, yeah.
They are ridiculous. You have to get it perfect, pixel perfect, not a single mistake. It's so, it's so maddening, honestly.
Yeah. Do you get anything for doing those?
No, I think you get extra coins. I think you get like 50 extra coins.
Yeah, that's not worth it, is it?
It's not worth it. No. It's not worth it. But it annoys me because when you look at your map, like the world map, if you get all the Waddle Dees in a stage, the star, you get like a little flashy star to say, oh, you've fully completed that one.
Yes.
And it's the same with the stages. Like if you do it within the target time, you get like a little different star.
Yeah.
And I've done it in a couple of them, just by accident, not through any skill. But I did it in the target time. But now those little stars look different than all the other little stars.
No.
So it's just a constant reminder that you're not quite good enough.
You're not quite good enough.
Not quite good enough.
No.
Very, very, very frustrating. But
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots to do is our point, basically.
Yeah, it's tons to do.
Tons to do. So it all goes back to this Waddle Dee town. You kept getting brought back there, and that's the sort of the central hub, and all the Waddle Dees that you saved sort of hang out there. And as you save more and more stuff gets added to the town, which is a really cool feature. I thought was really nice. You get sort of little mini games in there. You get little Kirby's house where you can go and have a little nap. You get the Colosseum where you can do like a boss rush. You get a new power-up shop where you can get extra health and power up your speed and attack and things like that. And it's really nice. I quite like it.
It's just a nice little. It's something tangible to show your progression in the game, isn't it? It just makes you feel like you're actually working towards something. Yeah,
sort of building a little town. It doesn't seem like it seems like quite a relatively simple idea in the grand scheme of things, but it works quite well. It's as you say, as a way of showing your progress and saying, look, I've built all my success in the game has built all of these buildings. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
We love the sort of lunchtime rush game where you have to serve the food to the Waddle Dees. And then suddenly it stops and lunchtime rush, and loads of them just queue up, and you've got to do it really quickly. And you've got to serve. Basically, it's very simple. You serve them the correct food that they're asking for, and you get a penalty if you don't. But yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, it's good fun.
The fishing one I enjoyed less. You have to just do the sequence, press the buttons that it shows. It's like quick time events basically to get the fish, and you don't get very much unless you really invest in it, and eventually you'll get like 500 coins, but you've got to do some of those QTEs in there are insanely difficult to get right. I haven't done any of them yet, but
I did it just to get the special.
Oh yeah,
capsule.
You get a capsule for it. Yeah, you get certain capsule toys you only get by talking to certain Waddle Dees and doing things. In the Waddle Dee town.
Yeah, I did it. I got the capsule, and then I've never played that bit again.
No, it wasn't great, that one. No, some of them were a bit hit and miss. I quite like the tilting one where you're in a little maze. And
that's quite good.
That was quite good. The last, there's 3 of those. The last one is rock hard, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, that was good fun. We haven't talked about the mouthfuls yet. This is a new feature.
A new feature.
As far as I'm aware. So sometimes Kirby will be able to inhale quite a large item and look very uncomfortable doing so. I must admit, you've probably seen him in like trailers and stuff. But say a car is the first one you get. He starts sucking things up, and this car goes in his mouth, and he's like awkwardly stuck around the car, and it looks not very pleasant, to be honest.
No, it doesn't.
And it's like little feet are like hanging off the back, and he basically, if you imagine just a car with like a pink blob all around it, that's pretty much what it is. But then you can drive the car and you can do cool things with them. So you got a vending machine where you can like spit out.
You can shoot cans.
Yeah, shoot cans and then pick them up as health, which is quite cool. The traffic cone, the pipe, the roller coaster. That was good fun. I like the roller coaster. Probably my favourite is the arch, which allows you to sort of float through the air.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like Star Fox, but without the shooting.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. It only happens a couple of times, I think, in the game, 2 or 3 times, but they're really good sections. I really enjoy those.
Oh, the water balloon's my favourite. The pipe.
Oh yeah, the water balloon. Yeah,
he just fills up just like a big
wobbly balloon.
Big bloated balloon. Yeah, it's
yes,
great.
And he just spits water out and just. You can like use it to get rid of lava and oil and stuff like that. It's just really good. It's constantly, mixing things up like that, really, isn't it? It's just here's a power up, and now you can do this X, Y, and Z with it. It's good fun. I would say it's perhaps not the most creative platformer, because you can get others that the Yoshi games and things like that are really quite clever, and Mario's as well, and things like that, and do things you've never really thought of before. I feel like this didn't have loads that I hadn't seen before, but it just did them all really well. It's just like a really solid platformer of that ilk,
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very cosy game.
Really cosy, yeah.
It doesn't try to do too much. It knows what it wants to do, and it just sticks to that. It doesn't try to overwhelm you with all things. Within a few stages, you've probably seen most of what it's got to offer. It's all going to be variations on a theme. That
would kind of be a criticism I would have on it. You kind of, all those abilities and all of the mouthfuls, you see them within the first 2 or 3 worlds, and then you've got, I think it's 6 worlds in total and an extra one. And once you get to the latter half of the game, there's nothing really that you haven't seen before in that regard. I don't think.
No,
I think I'd have preferred it if they held sort of a few things back until later, but it doesn't really hamper your experience very much. I think it's just good. It's just all handled really well. What sort of weapon was your preference generally, if you had to?
I quite liked the sword is what I went to the most.
Yes, I did. Did you get the Meta Knight sword?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I managed to. I upgraded all the weapons, so I got all the upgrades on all the weapons, and I upgraded because once you there's like 3 stages to each weapon, so you'll get like a little tiny sword to begin with. You can upgrade it to a bigger sword. You can upgrade it to you get the Meta Knight sword, but once you've upgraded them all and completed the game, you can then increase the power on them as well. So once you've got to the maximum upgrade, you can then give it a bit of a power boost as well by playing a few more little stars.
Yeah.
So I got the sword plus 1 power up, I think. And the other one I liked was the crash, the time crash.
Do you know what? I still haven't got that. I saw it in Abby's profile, and I can't. I obviously missed it in my sort of earlier phase where I was just running through and not bothering to look around. But I didn't pick up the scroll for that, and I still haven't seen her use it because she just said she didn't like it very much. But I still don't know what it is.
I didn't like it at first because I didn't really get it. It's kind of like you hold down the button and then nothing sort of seems to happen. He sort of charges up and you think, oh, okay, well, what's going on? And when you release it, you get like a bubble that sort of radiates out from him and everything sort of freezes in that area.
Okay. Yeah.
But once you so you can, it will slow things down so you can sort of go around things easier. The second stage of it damages the enemies, but every time you hit an enemy, it seems to extend the amount of time that you've got the bubble around you. So you've got this, you're super powered up, and the more enemies you can hit, the longer you can keep that power up going,
Right.
until it sort of crashes down and stops again. It's just a fun one to play with. It took me a little while to get to grips with it. But there's a couple of the Waddle Dees, the hidden Waddle Dee challenges where you'll be like defeat an enemy using time crash. So you have to get to grips with it with some of the later levels. But yeah, it's just a good one. The only one I didn't really like was the sleep one.
Yes, the sleep one. Yeah, I first encountered that as kind of like it was almost like they were laid out like a trap in one level, and I hadn't seen them before, and I was like, what the hell is happening? It's sort of, it just slows you down massively. I think it allows you to regain your health.
Yeah.
Which I find I didn't really need most of the time, because there was like plenty of health around. Earlier on, certainly, I didn't get hit that enough to need to worry about it really. So it seems like an unnecessary one. That I would say I didn't use it really.
Yeah, basically, when you activate it, he just kind of puts on a nightcap and has a nap. Just leaving you completely vulnerable to whatever's going on.
Yeah, great. Okay, fair enough.
And then once you upgrade it, he climbs into bed. So
amazing. Yeah, just leaving you vulnerable to everything around, and thereby just undoing all the health you regained anyway.
Yeah.
Completely pointless then. Fair enough, I get it.
Yeah, so when you upgrade them, you go into the little shop in the Waddle Dee town.
Yes.
And there's a little Waddle Dee who handles all your upgrades for you. And if you go towards the side of the shop, you can test him out against Mr. Sandbag.
Mr. Sandbag, yeah.
I feel sorry for him. He's a cute little thing.
He's lovely, isn't he? He just takes your abuse.
Yeah,
he's
just like a little Sandbag Kirby Waddle Dee thing.
You just beat him up.
Just beat him up.
Doesn't fight back, just stands there. Poor little guy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of health though. He's quite tough.
Oh, he's quite tough.
But he doesn't do anything to fight back, so
I don't know if they still make amiibos, but if they did, I'd buy
Mr. Sandbag.
I'd buy Mr. Sandbag amiibo.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. I would like to talk about the post game stuff but I don't really want to spoil anything about the story or how you get to the post game.
To be fair, I haven't played much of the post game stuff.
Okay.
So I've done the main thing and I got to the credits. And I would like to talk about that bit at the end as well, actually, because it takes a bit of a weird turn at the end of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It takes quite a serious. We don't do spoilers here, so I don't really want to, especially for a current game. I don't. Perhaps we'll talk after, and if we talk a lot, we'll do it. I'll do another extra thing like we did with Bug Snacks.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So people can listen to. So we'll do that afterwards. But yeah, we haven't mentioned like the general aesthetic of it being looking like quite post-apocalyptic, the whole game.
Yeah.
Which I found quite odd for Kirby, but it works.
It works.
As a theme, it works quite well because they carry it on through all the levels. You get, and they're fairly sort of standard trope levels. You've got it's a sort of a city that's been overgrown by, it's been long forgotten. It's been overgrown by, plants and things. There's like the beach. There's
snow level.
The theme park, that was quite cool.
Theme park, lava, desert.
Yeah, so it's all your standard sort of tropes, but they are applied to this sort of forgotten theme really well, I thought, because everything is sort of overgrown and forgotten and left to sort of rot and decay a bit, and it's given how happy the game is otherwise.
Yeah,
it's quite a bit of a weird juxtaposition, but for something about it really works.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is really good. It's kind of what you'd expect.
I wasn't so keen on the soundtrack.
Oh really? Oh, I quite liked it.
I didn't dislike it, but I think the problem I found some of the like the theme park stage in particular.
Yeah.
The loops were maybe a bit short, and I found the music grated on me a little bit after a while.
Okay.
It's not bad music. It's not bad music at all, but I think it felt a little bit. It started to feel a bit repetitive to me, and I found myself sort of turning down the telly a bit.
Okay. There's definitely repetitive there's a lot of recurring themes. The theme that the first world theme, they use versions of that and the main theme throughout the whole game, really. So it's a bit of a sort of a Super Mario World thing, where it's just the same thing over and over, same theme over and over. But it's good. It's catchy. I like it. And generally, the soundtrack. I wouldn't say it's one of my favourites, even sort of amongst the Nintendo games. But it's it's good. It's what you expect. There's lots of catchy, kind of very charming themes to it.
Yeah.
So it's good. I liked it. So good game. Really, very good game.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention how lovely Kirby is. Right.
Yeah.
He's just a happy little guy.
He's lovely, isn't he?
He's just a happy little guy. Like, he gets sucked into a completely different dimension, and it's all, like you say, it's all apocalyptic. There's buildings falling down, all that kind of stuff. He's just running along, big smile on his face, takes it all in his stride.
Yeah, nothing phases him, does it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, definitely want to play some more Kirby after this.
Yeah.
I'll have to go and try maybe the N64 one, maybe the original as well, just to see it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend Epic Yarn, Kirby's Epic Yarn on the Wii.
That's the Wii one, isn't it? Yes.
That's a really
that
good
does
one.
look good. Okay, I'll seek that out. Yeah.
Yeah. They're all good though. I mean, anything with Kirby on, you're in for a good time.
Yeah. There's been a lot sort of in recent years, I think, because even in his little house, you can go and see like brief descriptions of all the recent games in the series, and there's quite a few on 3DS and the Wii U and the Switch as well. So it seems to be something they've been pushing a lot more lately. The whole Kirby thing. He's right up there with Mario and Zelda in terms of the attention Nintendo seem to give him, isn't it? And from judging on this game, it's well deserved. It's a good series. It's really nice, highly recommended. So it's out now on Switch. Go and get it.
Go buy it.
Hi there, just in the podemup editing suite. A couple of points to add, actually. First of all, we did also go on to discuss the game's ending and post-credit content. We thought those of you who've played it to completion might be interested in hearing all that. If you check the show notes or at podemup on Twitter or podemup.live, I've put it up on the SoundCloud for you there. There will be a link in any of those places, so you can just give it a listen there. Oh, and speaking of Twitter, we did actually get a response to our attempt to reach out to you guys when we asked you about Kirby and the Forgotten Land and what your favourite Kirby game in general was, actually. It came in a bit too late for the original recording, but here it is now. This is from Daniel Martinez at ElectricMastro5, and he says, hey there, for me it might be Kirby's Dream Land 2, because I like that exploratory dynamic of searching for items, but other than that, Forgotten Land might be my favourite now. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to beat that, isn't it? Thank you very much, Daniel. Okay, so that's all from me, so let's finish up the show, shall we? Okay, had some fun with that. So, it's your pick next.
Yeah.
What's it going to be?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
You don't know?
The reason I don't know, I had one in mind, but then you bought those games.
So I've... I did think buying that, I thought that might force your hand.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. I can leave it on the shelf for a bit and not touch it until we get to it. Or we can do it now.
I think we should do it now because the House of the Dead remake has recently come out.
Yeah.
So House of the Dead is back in the public consciousness.
Yes. And
I personally think that this one is the best the series has been.
Okay.
I
cool.
really like it. So yeah, if you're up for it, I think we should be playing House of the Dead Overkill.
I am definitely up for it. Yes.
Great.
Cool.
It is going to be another. I should stress, it's a very much an adults-only episode.
Oh, another. Perhaps we should do one of these every year.
Yeah,
An
this is
adults-only podemup.
What was the last adult? Oh, that was
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Lollipop Chainsaw. Yeah. This is Lollipop Chainsaw Plus.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah, this is not for whippersnappers.
Does it have a humorous slant to it? Or is it
Oh,
quite
it's
sort of
hilarious.
serious? Oh, good. That's all right.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Right. Yeah, I think I would much prefer that to like an all-out gross zombie, really realistic thing. I think to add a bit of humour, it makes it a lot more appealing to me. So
It's brilliant. Like the opening line of the game is, "Or Detective Washington, mess with him and he'll rip your balls off." It's great. I love it. It's hilarious from start to finish. But
fantastic, yeah.
the ending is it's just grotesque. It's awful. It's gross, but I love it.
Right.
So yeah, I look forward to playing that if you're up for that.
Okay, yeah, cool. Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, the only House of the Dead I've really played is I got a 2 and 3 on the little it's on the Wii game. It's like a collection of 2 and 3, and that's quite good. It's sort of very cheesy and very kind of, but I loved it. It's great, really good. Okay,
Good.
well I look forward to that. That'd be brilliant. Yes, excellent. Okay, so you can listen to that next month or so. So we are Podemup. Email is podemup@gmail.com. At Podemup on Twitter, and podemup.live is our little website where you can listen back to all our past episodes.
And you should, because they're
And
good.
yeah, I think we've got quite a good little library now. Lots of variety, lots of different games. I think I was looking on Spotify for other podcasts to listen to, and I did put I can't remember what the exact wording was, but I put video game podcasts in, or retro video game podcasts, I think it was, and ours wasn't very far down actually.
Oh, good.
Surprisingly,
It's a surprise.
assuming that, because I think I have listened to it a couple of times on Spotify, so I'm hoping it's not taking that into account and adjusting the results. I can't say it definitely isn't, but if it isn't doing that, then it was like you could see a load of them and then you click for more, and then we were in that next batch. So compared to where we were before, you had to scroll endlessly and endlessly and endlessly to find us. That's a huge improvement. So I'm quite happy about that actually. You've got to take these victories where you get them.
Yes.
We don't always get them very often, so it's good to see some bit of success there.
Yeah.
So so if you're listening on Spotify, thank you very much.
Oh, you're
doing a great job. Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you think. Yeah, so that's all really from me. Don't know if you got anything else to say.
What episode was this then?
This is 43.
43.
Yeah.
So we need to. We're gonna be. Are we gonna do something for the 50th episode?
Yeah, let's discuss this off recording. I've got an idea. I think I've even mentioned it to you before actually, but let's surprise the listeners later on. But yeah, 50th episode is coming, possibly even this year or early next year.
Yeah, we'll surprise the listeners with that one. Both of them are going to be really excited.
Both of them will be doing their pants. So yeah, so that's all from us, I think.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. Catch us next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.